Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. This is one of my favorite quotes by Tony Robbins. He's a motivational speaker. And this quote makes me think, what if I become successful? I have everything I want, everything. And I'm miserable and I feel empty inside. And that's why I decided to talk about this book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, because it promises you, if you practice every single habit for like years, for all your life, you're gonna feel satisfied. You're gonna be a good leader, a good person, a happier person, a more effective person. And for me, effective means getting things done in the right way. So I want to do my life in the right way. I want to get my life done in the right way. So this is the first episode. This is the first episode, the introduction of the chapter, because I'm giving summaries of the 7 habits of highly effective people. And I'm adding my own thoughts, my own neurological research that I've done. I love neurology. It's so interesting and it really fits with the habits, with perspectives, with everything we're going to be talking about. But before we start, I want to give you the overview, not the overview, not the complete overview. That's going to be next week. But I want to give you all the 7 habits of highly effective people, just so you're aware of it and just so you know what we're going to be talking about. The first habit is be proactive. We'll talk about it in further episodes. The second habit, begin with an end in mind. Third habit, put first things first. Fourth habit, think win win. Fifth habit, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Six, synergize. And seven, sharpen the saw. And the first five, in my opinion, are pretty basic. You're like, oh, well, duh, that's basically all Instagram quotes. But we're gonna dive deep. I thought it was pretty basic at first, but as I was reading it, I was like, hey, like this is a new piece of information. This could be helpful. This is necessary to get to know and to understand and to practice over and over again. Like I can see why this is important. The author, Stephen Covey, talks about how before you start with all of this, you have to acknowledge two things. And I'm going to be talking about those two things right now. First of all, there aren't any quick fixes. You are not going to accomplish these 7 habits in 7 days. That's not possible. That's not possible. This is going to take time. Like anything and everything in life does. And talking about quick fixes, I want to just highlight the importance of not putting quick fixes on a pedestal. Nowadays, you see a lot of advertisements telling you in 5 days I'm going to change your life if you take this course. And yeah, I believe that I've done some of those courses. They're pretty good. They're pretty like, you learn a lot, but no one can, well, I don't know no one, but like in my opinion, no one can change their life in 5 days. There aren't quick fixes. It takes time. Every single day showing up every single day. That's how you consistency. Consistency is gonna get you there. But if you think that in 5 days, in 7 days, in 1 year you're going to develop all these habits, you are wrong. You are probably wrong, most likely. I already talked about marketing side of things. Like people promise you a lot of things in 7 days you're going to be a billionaire. You see that go to YouTube. They have a lot of advertisements of how you can make money with this app in 7 days. And a lot of people, I feel like, fall to this trap because we've gotten so used to have everything so fast. Like order something from Amazon and you're gonna have it in 7 days, depending on what trial you have. If you have Prime, you're gonna have it in like overnight. That's how fast it is. That's how fast it is. If you post something on Instagram, depending on how many followers you have, even if you don't have a lot of followers, you're gonna get likes, you're gonna get comments. You know how in I feel like in the 1950s, people wouldn't get compliments like that. Like, even though like they will look beautiful, they will look hot, handsome, whatever, probably they got like one comment per day at at the most. That's crazy. Now you post something, you have a comment, you have multiple people commenting, people liking your post, people at least viewing your post. Maybe they don't like it, maybe they view it. You have a lot of attention. So I feel like we've gotten used to like having quick fixes, having that quick. We're not too patient. Well, personally, I'm not too patient. I'm like, hey, I want this fast. I want to be happy now. Just make me happy now, you know? And we're looking for a lot of external dopamine. We're feeding our mind with a lot of dopamine. And dopamine is a chemical that makes you feel good. It's just a neurological chemical. So that's when I say dopamine, that's what I mean by dopamine. But yeah, basically, you don't know something, you go to Google. Grammarly can do your essays. Oh my! Oh, this is not sponsored, by the way. I don't know if okay, but there's a lot of apps that can do your essays. So you have a lot of. You're surrounded with a lot of things, with a lot of opportunities, and the author talks about how usually character is not practiced anymore. Character is not practiced anymore because character takes time. Being humble, being patient, being honest, being all of these things take time, and people don't want to do this anymore. People rather have quick fixes and rather just get a course that teaches you how to have more influence, how to have more friends, instead of practicing the act of honesty, practicing the act of humility, practicing the act of just showing up there and giving giving value to people's life, offering values. That's the difference. That's what he talks about. He's like, no, the character has been forgotten because people nowadays just want the validation that comes from having a lot of friends, instead of like the real purpose, the true feeling of constructing a friendship. So that's what he talks about, and it's important to remember that before starting the habits, before getting into these habits, and before practicing all of this. He also talks about perspectives. You cannot solve something with the same problems that created it, with the same mindset that created those problems. And that quote is from Einstein. But basically, yeah, your perspectives shape your life. If you want to change your life, you're going to have to change your perspectives. You're going to have to change your thoughts. Because if not, you're going to come back to those neurological patterns. You're going to come back to those patterns, to those habits. If you don't change this, you're going to be lying to yourself because it's going to get harder for you to lie to your mind. So you got to change your thoughts. You got to change your perspectives. You got to change your neurological patterns. And here's the time for neurology. Your brain is creating neurons every single day. Neurological patterns. Every single day you tell your mind. Every single day you tell your mind, "Hey, I'm smart." And you actually follow through, you get good grades, whatever, your mind's gonna start to form this connection like, oh shoot, we are smart, we're smart. And then one day, bam, they're gonna come together, they're gonna hold hands, because pretend both neurons are like far from each other. So they're walking to each other, they're gonna hold hands, and they're gonna form this connection, this pattern that anytime you have a question on math, anytime you don't understand something in your class, this pattern is going to tell you, hey girl, hey boy, we're smart. Remember this, remember, we're smart. So let's act according to our patterns. And this could be beneficial if you have a pattern, a positive pattern that says, hey, I'm smart. But if you have a negative pattern, a toxic pattern that was built because of your how you grew up, the things that you watch, the things that you listen to every single day, and it's negative, it's going to affect your perspective. It's going to affect how you see your life. It's going to affect how you see yourself. So that's what the author talks about. He's like, you gotta change and you gotta understand that we all are conditioned, that we're conditioned by our environment, by our parents, by society, by our teachers, by everything. So if we don't acknowledge that we've been conditioned, it's gonna be hard to change because we're gonna think that what our parents told us is the truth. We're gonna think that what our teachers told us is the truth. And we're not gonna question. And if we don't question things, we're not gonna find something different. We're not gonna look for something different. We're not gonna question life. We're not gonna see different perspectives. So, yeah, he basically talks about perspectives, and it's important to become aware that your perspectives literally change your life. And if you want to change your life, you got to change your perspectives. And that's the first part of the introduction. That's the first part that the author talks about. Next week, we're going to cover the 7 habits in a little bit more detailed. He's going to go over the habits, how it affects your perspectives, how the habits are structured, and how it can help your life. So basically, he's going to convince you that these habits are going to be life changing. And it's up to you to see if they are or if they aren't. But with that being said, that's all we have for today. It was a pretty short, quick summary. I'm going to keep adding my neurological research, and not my research, but what I've learned from psychology, and also what I've learned from experience, what I learned from other books. And yeah, I'll keep you all updated. Let me know what you all think. If you want to know more about this and you haven't followed the Instagram yet, you can follow it at Hugging My Chaos, and that's it. And that's it. And you'll find me there. And I'll definitely talk more about the science, neurological perspectives, because I'm getting more interested in that every single day. But with that being said, hug yourself, hug that crazy chaos of yours. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself a hug right now. Hug yourself because hugs are really helpful. Hug yourself and learn how to take care of this. Okay? If you want to continue the path, then follow. Follow the path. Goodbye. Have a good day. Good night. Good life.